Tesla took off today, followed Nvidia up on Nvidia earnings. It's, right up there with it. Man, I like being able to pay my bills this way, you know? Thank you, God. So that got me thinking. Tesla may be one of the most emotionally powerful stocks that Wall Street has ever seen because people don't merely analyze Tesla. People react to Tesla. They they project onto Tesla. I know I do. If I'm doing it, I know other people are doing it too, right? We project onto it. Hope, ambition, excitement, curiosity, what will the future hold? Why is this company creating things that I can't even think of? My imagination doesn't work that way. You know, admiration and sometimes frustration, and sometimes people can get obsessed too. And I mean, pull the camera back and look, like, despite years of controversy, all kinds of controversy, volatility, criticism, endless debate, Wall Street still appears deeply drawn to the company. Wall Street loves Tesla. Wall Street adores Tesla. Tesla is catnip to Wall Street, right? You ever sprinkled catnip out on the floor or on a plate, and here, kitty, check this out, and the cat is just mesmerized. The cats. Some cats really get into it. Other cats couldn't care less. It's like it doesn't affect them. What are you doing? What are you trying to? What are you bothering with me now, human? But Tesla is like catnip to Wall Street. And I think all of these factors make Tesla so psychologically fascinating, because Tesla has never really traded like a normal car company. Tesla is not like GM or Ford or, even Ferrari trades, right? Tesla trades more like a story about the future, robotics, space, AI, you know, autonomous driving, energy transformation, and at the center of all of this is the man with the brain, the man with the imagination. I remember somebody telling me once, an older man, and he teaching me different things, teaching me about truth, and he was a really good public speaker. And he said, I keep a notepad by my desk, or by my side table by my bed. He says that when I wake up at 2 a.m, sometimes I have an idea, my imagination will be working. So I'll write it down. And he said, if the notepad's not there, and I don't write down that idea by morning, I've totally forgotten it. So I wonder if Elon Musk keeps a notepad by uh, his bedside. You would think possibly, right? Because at night, when we're fully relaxed, that's when some incredible things can come in. And if I'm smart enough, because half the time you're still asleep and you're like, oh, I'm not gonna write that down. I'll remember it tomorrow morning. I've done that, and you don't remember it, not even close. So if you scribble it down, okay, then it's got a fighting chance. And in the morning, bring it in and write it out on the computer or whatever. But I get some ideas like that, and it's Terry, my old friend Terry, who told me, keep a notepad at your bedside with a pen, An idea will come to you when you wake up 2 in the morning or whatever, and you may be dreaming of something, or when the physical body is relaxed and rested, ideas come in, and some of them might be, you might have a great idea for something that you're working on it, or the answer to a problem. It can come to you, right? So, and just last week, Elon was in the global spotlight when he traveled on board Air Force One with NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang when they went with Huang when they went with Trump to Beijing to go see Xi, President Xi Jinping. All these names, right? So I mean that was like a week ago. That was not in the far too distant past. And what did they talk about there? Well, they let me in here. I need to get into China. And what did Z say? Z said yes, and he agreed to open the door. Okay, we can start. We can do the preliminaries. And to Musk, that's as good as a yes. That's a green light. That's huge. So that image alone of him traveling face to face, go meet Z, break bread, talk the whole bit, talk with his people. It's not going to be Z either himself. It's going to be one of Z's people. Here, Elon, this is your point man here in China. That's how it's going to be. That's how they operate that. So, and and bring Jensen Huang into it too. Both men, they're increasingly being viewed not merely as CEOs, but they are strategic figures connected to the future of AI industry and global power itself. So, and then at the same time, I read today there's a report. It suggests that Tesla is ramping up hiring in China, and tied to its driver assistance systems and the autonomous driving operations. And, the stock itself has been rebounding after another volatile stretch. And once again, investors are asking the same question they've been asking for years. Could Tesla still have another major chapter ahead? And that question never really goes away. What's going to be happening with Tesla? Will it hit 600 next year? In 2027, will Tesla be trading at 600 or 550 or whatever? There's a good chance of that. I think I haven't, and maybe this focus on Tesla and what is it going to be doing in the very near future, I think that gives us something powerful. It gives us possibility. It gives us choice. Tesla has always represented more than just earnings reports and quarterly deliveries. It represents represents the idea that the future can arrive faster than any of us ever expected, right? The technology radically reshapes industries. You know, the enormous change because of Tesla and what it's doing is still possible. Look what they're doing in space. I mean, they're putting up satellites almost every day. When those astronauts were stranded up there because of the Boeing rocket, who went up there to get them? It was one of Elon Musk's. And I think people connect emotionally to this because of things like that. Because here it is again, it's in the news again. And we return to the stock over and over again. Even after a sharp decline, it's like, well, it's like with a kid, it trips and falls and starts crying. Hey, come here, come here, come here. I'll dust you off, right? Give you a little smack, you'll be okay. And off they go, running again, even after a decline, even after public criticism, because people will badmouth Tesla and Elon Musk left and right till the cows come home, till they're blue in the face. It's kind of like people either love Elon or don't love Elon. And the people who don't love Elon, my God, I've heard them, and you're just like, I'm not getting involved in that. No way. In fact, I'm exiting stage left. Why would you? Why would you argue over something you have no control over at all, whether somebody does something or not? Right? I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Well, I can't say that because that would be like taking sides. Anyway, the stock and the man, they've been through all kinds of things. There have been times when Wall Street was trying to insist that, hey, the party's over. It's over, but it's obviously not over. And the end result is Tesla has, it's like it exerts a type of magnetic pull on investors. We just can't quit it. I don't know if this is like chasing the dragon or what. Like, you got your first, I remember my first taste when I made some money. Tesla dumped, and I got lucky, and I had cash, and I bought it, and the thing took off, and I was like, this is great. Sold. I am now a fan. You made me money, and you made me money quick, overnight. Boom. I sold it, and that's it. And I'm like, okay, I'm hooked now. I remember my first trade. I went pretty deep on it too. I just did it. And sometimes that happens too when you're trading. You got to just, when something dumps and it's a good something, and then you got cash, and then you just buy into it and say, okay, here's my stop loss, whatever. I'm going to bed. Tomorrow's another day. And you wake up tomorrow and you're like, yeah, okay, that's good. I'm happy. Thank you. You just paid the rent. Thank you very much. I think we're going out to dinner tonight. So I like that. And that's the part of investing that I like too. Is when you when you succeed, when you're not catching knives all day. Um, I think another attraction to Tesla is that it's like you're witnessing the future. You're watching the future unfold in real time. All you got to do is look at one of these articles and look at that and go, wow, there it is. It's right there. And I think once people experience that, it strikes us on an emotional level. We want to experience it again, just like the initial chasing the dragon, that initial, sale, that score, whatever. And I think this is one of the things that makes Tesla different from a lot of other companies, because people do not just trade Tesla. We identify with Tesla. There's one of the YouTube fellas, I see him. He, maybe, I don't know about anymore, but he had a big Tesla, one of those, what do they call that? Neon light. I mean, it was pretty trick. And it was on his wall. I'm like, oh, that thing's cool. And I remember seeing that. I'm like, that thing's really cool. I think I even went on Amazon looking for one. I couldn't find it. So maybe he'd had it, maybe he got it custom made somewhere. I don't know. But people identify with Tesla where some of us are real big. I mean, some people are huge fans of Tesla. I'm not like that at all. It's made me money, and so therefore I like it, but I'm not some rabid fan about it. People debate Tesla back and forth. Some people defend Tesla. Other people argue about it back and forth. People love it, people hate it, but nobody ignores it. It's a hot and cold hold. It's a hot and cold hold. You either love it or you hate it. And I think that alone tells us something really important. And Tesla, as a company, yes, it still faces big challenges. Competition is intensifying. You know, a friend of mine's got a Rivian truck. That thing is nice. That thing's nice. But the day he showed it to me, I'm like, I didn't say it, but my mind is going, if Tesla had never if Tesla had never been created, would we be seeing a Rivian pickup now or a Rivian SUV, whatever? Would we be seeing any Rivian now? See, and the answer to that is, I don't know, maybe, but it would have been, I think, far off into the future because somebody saw Tesla and said, I'm going to make a pickup truck and did so. And they're pretty nice cars. They're really, really nice vehicles. So competition is intensifying. Execution risks with Tesla are real. Autonomous driving is controversial. I haven't seen one yet, but I've heard people say, yeah, I was driving down the highway and I turned around and there's nobody driving that thing. And Wall Street itself remains deeply divided on Tesla's future. But despite all that, Tesla continues to command extraordinary emotional attention. And maybe that's the real story here, how it's like on a faucet. It's hot and cold. It's you're either red hot with it or you're icy cold on it, right? Tesla may no longer be merely a stock. Tesla may have become a kind of cultural force unto itself. And that's a force that Wall Street still adores. I'll see you next time.